All right, so let's look at question 3 next. It says diagram below shows the line PQ whose equation is x plus 2y is equal to 12. The line intercepts the axes of P and Q respectively. So point P is here, point Q is here. And it says find the coordinates of P and Q. So what we need to do here is realize that at P, x is equal to 0. Okay, and then at Q, y is equal to 0. So using those values, we could then work out what's going on. So one possibility is you could type the equation into your calculator. You'd have to rearrange it first. So we could say that 2y is equal to minus x plus 12, just moving the x to the other side. And then we divide by 2 and we get y is equal to minus 1/2 x plus 6. So we could type that into our calculator. We could then use the value of x is 0 to work out what y is for this point here. And we could then use the 0 function when y is 0 to work out what x is here. So that's one way you could do it. Alternatively, I can just substitute in x is 0 into this equation here. So I could say that 0 plus 2y is equal to 12. So therefore, I would then, the 0 would disappear, 2y would equal to 12, and then divide by 2, y would equal 6. And for the other one, I could substitute in y is equal to 0 and find x. So I'd say that x plus 0 is equal to 12, and in this case then, x would have to equal 12. So all I should do then is just write the coordinates down. So p is equal to 0, 6, and q would then equal 12, 0. Okay, you can also do that with your calculator though to get those same values, but you should just write down p is 0, 6 and q is 12, 0. All right, and next it says a second line with the equation x minus y is equal to 3 intersects the line PQ at the point A. Find the coordinates of A. All right, so I think the most straightforward way to do this would be to plot the two lines on your calculator and then use the intersect function to find that. So what I'm going to do here, we've already rearranged the first one. So we type in y equals minus a half x plus 6. And then to rearrange the second one here, if I move the y to the right hand side, I would have x is equal to 3 plus y, and then subtract 3, I'd have y is equal to x minus 3. So I type that into my calculator as well. So just one moment while I do that. So the first one, I'm going to type in for the y1 is going to be x is equal to minus 1 over 2 x plus 6. And then the second one is x minus 3. I can then graph that. I can just check that the first one does indeed look like my original graph here. So that's a good insurance policy to check that everything is right. Yes. So my calculator has drawn that as a blue line down there like that. And then it's drawn a red line for the second one coming up there, sort of like that. So what I do then is this would be the point A. Okay, point A is here. And I then would use the intersect. So I do second in calc and then down to number 5, which says intersect, and calculate those points there, which gives me that x is 6 and y is 3. All right, so in your answer here, you can just write from GDC, intersect, and then A is equal to 6 and 3. That's one way you could do it. Alternatively, what you could do, if you were so inclined and you fancied a bit of algebra, you could equate these two equations. So this one here, y is equal to minus a half x plus 6, and this one, y is equal to x minus 3, you could make those equal to each other. So you could say that x minus 3 is equal to, and then minus a half x plus 6. And then attempt to solve those. So what I would do next is to add this minus a half x to both sides so I get my x's together. So I've got 1x here, and I add another half x, so you could use your calculator again, but I would get 3x over 2, or 1.5x if I wanted to, minus 3 is equal to 6. Then I would add 3 to both sides, so I'd get 3 over 2, x is equal to 9. Then what I'd need to do is multiply this by 2. So I'd get 3x is equal to 18, and then divide by 3, and I'd get x is equal to 6. Once I have x is equal to 6, I can then substitute it back into either of these two, and if I get the same answer twice, then I know I've done it right. So if I use this one, y is equal to x minus 3, then y would be 6 minus 3, which would be 3. And if I use the other one, y is minus a half x plus 6. So y is equal to minus 1/2 6 plus 6. So that would be minus a half times 6 would be 3 plus 6 minus 3 plus 6, sorry. So that would also be 3. So that would be a good check to let me know I've done everything right. So then I would just state that A is at 6, 3. So there's possible ways of doing that there. So probably the most straightforward way is to use a calculator, which gave me it directly from the intersection with A is at point A is at 6, 3.